Good now, travelers. I hope your now is amazing. As for me, my now is great. The sun is out. I'm really thankful for that. I came out to the bay and just laid out, had a moment of clarity, but I just kind of wanted to be by myself so I could crack open my new book. I got The Hidden Side of Things by C.W. Ledbetter, and this was definitely suggested to me by my mentor, my current mentor. It came in yesterday, and I was so excited that I started to read it last night. I got through the first chapter, and I think maybe the first page gave me a different understanding. The word occult. So I already knew that the word occult means hidden things that are hidden or whatever. But I also used to think that it meant that things were purposely hidden from me. That there is someone, I guess, let's use they, because that's what we always say. They did this, they did that. I always thought that that's what the hidden part of occult meant. Actually just means the unseen. And that might be common knowledge for somebody else, but that was big for me within that moment. I see the unseen. I focus on the unseen. And it made me think about my exploration of the third eye, how I even came into understanding what the third eye is and how I had a better understanding of using it within my everyday life. First, my understanding of the third eye was just that, it's your third eye, here. And it's EYE, right? And so once I was researching it, I would write a lot of blogs about it, make a lot of observations about it. And then one day I went into meditation and I was guided to change it from EYE to I, like make it become an entity, make it to become a being. And so that is when these points started to connect, the two eyes and the third eye forming the Holy Trinity. And I was able to see. I actually could see what I was doing because I changed the frequency, the vibration of what I previously thought the third eye was. And that helps me see into the unseen. I feel like I'm going to have a lot of aha moments with this book. It'll just connect a lot of different points for me. Things that I possibly, that I've been researching for a while and just haven't really had the opportunity to connect those points. So I think this book it'll do the trick. And then it'll also point me in a direction of other occult works that I could read, because my New Year's resolution, my new now resolution, which I made at the beginning of June, was to build up my occult library. And I already have a few works in there. However, I want the occultism. I want the old stuff. I want the books that they thought were destroyed. I want all of those, because I feel like the frequency of that information is just different from the frequency of the information that we have now. When I read literature from long time ago, it just helps me to see and understand that nothing has changed in the physical realm. Like nothing at all. It all remains the same. This realm is not evolving. So you have to evolve. You have to evolve yourself. You have to take the initiative to evolve, because this realm is just not doing anything. Everything that you see now is somebody it's a you in the year 2 that was doing the same shit. You probably just didn't have a cell phone, but you were doing the same shit. So you have to kind of put that into perspective, and you have to rise up to a God. And you also have to know that that's not a blasphemous thing. It's just a mythological story that was told to get humanity to evolve. A lot of people kind of just get stuck in the Adam phase of their existence. However, like let's use an example. Say there's a chair in front of you. That chair is made up of so many atoms, right? And each atom is living its life as a chair. It doesn't even know it's a chair, probably. It's just living its life as doing chair shit, right? You standing there looking at that chair makes you a god to that chair, because you see the purpose of it. You see that It's just a chair. While meanwhile, the atom is probably bogged down in chair shit. I don't know what chairs worry about or stress about, but let's just say they have worries as a human. These little atoms. We're speaking of atoms. Use your imagination. The atoms that make up this chair are like, oh shit, I gotta pay my mortgage. Oh shit, I gotta go to work. Oh shit, who's running for president? That's what the atoms are worried about. But you, as the God, the observer, know the higher purpose of that atom is just to be a fucking chair. Like, none of that other stuff even matters. That atom is just stressing itself out. Now, the atom can rise itself up to observe itself as the chair. And once it does that, it now observes you as an observer. But it becomes a part of that. It becomes a part of the Godhead. And that is how you lift yourself up. It's not blasphemous. It's not anything evil. It's literally just you lifting yourself up to a Godhead, because that is supposed to be the evolution of a being, not of a human. Humans are easily conditioned. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. They just are. Humans are made that way. They are made for conditioning. They are made to follow the crowd. They are made to be put in a herd. And that's why when you and I'm not picking on religious people, but when you see religious folks or whatever, they have that mindset where they don't mind being a sheep. They don't mind being led by someone who they feel like is above them. But that's a form of conditioning as well. You know, I don't want to say that's a right or wrong thing. Everyone is free to live their life the way they want to live their life. I make my content for other travelers like me who just need a signpost. So I guess, when you can consider the fact that you can evolve from a atom, ATOM, and become part of the whole, why wouldn't you want to? What chair isn't tired of ass being sat on it all the time? We gotta do better. We gotta evolve. So yeah, I don't want to be the chair. I want to be the observer of the chair. And then I also want to be the observer of the observer, and the observer of that observer. I want to go as high as I possibly can. The term the Most High is a term for a reason, and it carries a frequency that I enjoy experiencing. I want to rise to the next level. This book was first published in 1913. And he has a page in here where he speaks about how people are just so stuck on, I gotta go to work, I gotta pay these bills. It is 2023, and how is it the exact same? It is the same. And there are forces in place that want you to forget that none of this shit is changing. There are forces that want you to think that all of this shit is brand new. And it's not. It's not. There is a war on higher beings. There's not a war on humans. It's not a war on humans because they are conditioned. They are fine where they're at. They are happily contributing to a system that has, for generations, robbed us, separated us, manipulated us, took advantage of us, murdered us, and whatever other adjective you just want to throw in there. And we can see it. It's a fact. It's a historical fact. But yet, we pop out as a new baby and we get conditioned to think that things are different. Our generation is the popping generation. We're the generation that's going to change things. And then you look up and you realize shit is the same if you're invested in that system. It's not designed to evolve. Why do you think it takes so long for shit to get done? It takes forever for something small to get done in a system. Try going up to a school with $1 million check and just dropping it off on the school, or just blessing a part just blessing an establishment that is connected to the system, it will take you forever to get those kids $1 million. It will take forever for the kids to even see the fruits of that $1 million, because you have to go through so much bullshit just to get anything done, like on any level. It's the conditioned humans that work in these systems that they're like a contradiction of everything. Like say they work at a electric company, right? And they'll call you and they'll curse you out and threaten to cut your shit off because of whatever. You know, you didn't pay your bill's late, whatever. Which no one chooses to not pay their bills if they have the money. They're not just like, hey, fuck it. Like, nobody chooses to do that. Like, people really go through shit that puts them in positions where they have to say, are my kids gonna eat, or am I gonna keep my lights on? Like, people are really in those positions. But anyway, these people will call you and they'll put all of this pressure on you, and then at the end of their shift they go home and get their mail and they have a disconnect notice as well. Like, how can you dare say something to somebody else when you got your own shit going on, but you so caught up in the system because that system is giving you a check or whatever type of illusionary foundation or illusionary security you think you're getting? All of that, all just from seeing that this book was published in 1913, made all of that rise up in me. It's, I don't know, it's profound. Like, it's interesting. It's really interesting. But it all points to one thing: we as a collective aren't going to do anything, but I as an individual can do a lot. I can do a whole lot, and it starts with me. It starts with me seeing the hidden side of things. It starts with me going within. It starts with me following my intuition and seeing the patterns that I have within my world and my reality, and see how I can break those patterns. How do those patterns apply to me specifically? And what I mean by that is what people call generational curses. You know, it's things that our parents have done that is a sacrifice so we wouldn't have to do that. And I mean that in regards to my parents being on drugs. None of my siblings are on drugs and don't even think about being on drugs. And that leads to a level of discipline in other areas. That's a life we will never ever have to experience, but it is a reality that was placed on our timeline, so somebody had to experience that. And I'm thankful that it wasn't me. I'm thankful that it's not going to be my children, but the people that it was were my parents. So I have to look at that. I pick their brain. I interview them. I ask them questions like, what made you get high? What was like, and I don't look at it in a judging way, because I'm not judging them. Again, that was a sacrifice that they made on my behalf, whether they know it or not. But I want to explore that pattern, those emotions that took them to that place. So if it ever tries to come my way, I know what it looks like. I know what it sounds like. I know what it smells like. I know what it feels like. So yeah, like, we have to, not we, but I as an individual, I just want to lead by example, because that helps lower versions of myself evolve into the God that we are. So I've been out here long enough. I'm gonna skedaddle and get my day started. I hope your now is super amazing. I love you as always, and I'll see you guys in the next now.